Hey guys, Greg Tambone here. Going to talk with you today about how to carry a knife in non-permissive environments. What is a non-permissive environment? A non-permissive environment is any place that you really shouldn't have a knife in the context of this video. So I have to be very careful about what I say, and I'm going to give a disclaimer, and I'm going to tell you a little story and ask you to not share the same story with me. Basically, I had some guys write me and tell me, Bone, I took your NPE ghost knife on a plane. I walked right through TSA pre-check with one on and got on the plane, got to my destination. Nobody ever knew I had the NPE ghost knife. Please don't message me like that, guys. That's illegal. I don't recommend doing it. This is for emergencies or foreign countries. I'm in another country right now. So guys, do not do this. Don't do that, and if you do, don't message me, okay? But I'm gonna teach you how to do it. I'm gonna say this is for people who maybe you're looking at going into the CIA at some point in your life and you wanna know how people in that line of work do things, okay? So I'm gonna teach you right now, very quickly, how to bring a knife anywhere in the world, and I'm gonna show you the knife that you can do it with. This is the NPE ghost knife from Bone Tactical. This is not the only knife that you can bring in a non-permissive environment. It's just the easiest knife to bring in a non-permissive environment and the most effective non-permissive environment blade ever designed or produced. So it's the best, but it's not the only. Let me first tell you what a knife needs to be. Like this knife, it needs to be non-metallic. There's no metal in this knife. This blade is ceramic. You want to look for ceramic. It's harder and sharper than steel. You don't want a plastic knife. You don't want a G10 knife. You don't want a knife made out of Legos. I shouldn't have to explain this to people, but I do. Believe it or not, I have to tell people that ceramic, harder and sharper than steel, is better than plastic or G10. Blows my mind, but I have to tell it to people. So obviously, you don't want a toy knife. You want a real knife. So this one is injection molded. There's no metal in it whatsoever. Injection molded handle. This is an open market design. So you want an open market design. You don't want it to order from somebody who is the only person making that knife. And then if you have to use it and ditch it, then it'll be traced back to them. And then they're going to give your information up like that. And it'll be traced back to you. This knife cannot be traced back to me, and it cannot be traced back to you. So you want it to be untraceable and undetectable like this. And you want it to be small enough to conceal carry. I tell people you want it to be smaller than your palm if you want to conceal carry a blade. That's the general idea. If you can hold it in your hand like this, and I'm sitting here talking to you, and you may not even know that I have this knife in my hand, so I'm just sitting here kind of shooting and wham, okay? So you want to be able to, that's the general idea, and that is because you don't want it to print. Another thing that you want is you want it to be soft and smooth back here, so when it's riding around in there, okay, wherever you have it, you don't want it stabbing you or hurting you. So the sharp part is in the sheath. There's no metal on the sheath. This is not carbon fiber. It's just carbon fiber print, so it's undetectable, okay? That's the general idea. The easiest way to carry it is just around your neck. But there's a lot of other ways that you can carry this. Let's say, for example, I was going to go on an airplane that I was going to go through the scanner where you go like this and hold your hands up. If I'm wearing this around my neck, obviously it's going to show that there's something around my neck. Well, can you still get this through? Sure you can. You can suitcase it. Those of you who don't know what suitcasing is, you Google it. I'm not going to say anything more. No, I've never suitcased anything. No, I hope that I never have to. I wouldn't. It doesn't matter. It's just too. But this is definitely 100% possible to suitcase. You can get it in anywhere in the world like that. They won't find it. So that would be, if you really had to bring one on an airline, that would kind of be your best bet or your best option. So we're talking body cavities here, and male or female, it doesn't matter. It would at that point have to go inside of a body cavity. To any higher in-between level of, if maybe I'm looking at a pat down or something like that, then I probably want to tape it in here with, maybe a jacket on and a nice suit, and tape it with just some duct tape and athletic tape around your arm, and then duct tape around the sheath right inside of there. You guys can see I got pictures on the website of that. Then sport coat and go good to go, because what happens when they pat you down? A lot of times they don't pat you down like that. If they do, then you're going to want to tape it inside the leg here, in the upper leg, in the groin area, or you can even tape it to your male appendage that you have dangling down there. And guys, that's a pretty extreme circumstance, but when we're talking about non-permissive environment weapons, we're talking extreme circumstances, guys. So these are items that have to be smuggled. But first of all, you have to have the item, something like this, which is the best, or you can find another, you can make your own sheath, guys. You can buy one of these knives for pretty cheap. And you can buy the Kydex, and you can buy the Paracord, and you can buy the snap, and you can make your own sheath. And you're looking at spending a couple $100 and that's it. If you actually have to buy all of the equipment that it takes to make it, you're looking at spending a couple $1,000. Or you could just buy one from me for $30, but the choice is yours. So you can buy this knife, but you still need all the rest of the stuff with it. You can buy this knife from anywhere, but the problem is the other people who are selling these knives, 90% of them, they put either metal powder in the handle or they put metal cylinders in the handle. Mine have no metal. They do that so you can't go through a metal detector with it. I produce the same kind of knife, but I make it with no metal in it. So it's very important that you also buy a metal detector. If you don't buy it from me, you buy it from somebody else, buy a metal detector and wand it and make sure it doesn't have metal inside of there. You might have to pull the handle off, take the metal out, and remake another handle for it. Again, there's no way that you can get a knife this effective for $30 unless you buy it from me. But another important thing is if you have a paracord necklace like this, you want to have that snap on there. That way I can wear this if I'm going to be in a non-permissive environment. I can swing that snap around to the front. And then if somebody comes and tries to choke me with my paracord, because it's 550 pounds, it'll pull my head right off. Or if it gets caught in heavy equipment like a helicopter rotor or something like that, it just snaps and goes, the knife goes, and not my head. Okay, so that's something else important that you want on there if you do make your own. You can put plastic screws in here. I've got plastic screws either on my site right now or coming soon to my site that I make for this, okay, that you can get, that you can buy, or you can just take this burnt paracord. There's a paracord that's burnt in there, and that's just a little extra safety and security to keep the blade from slipping out. And that's also because you can't have metal in there. But you can buy those screws from me as well. Check the website for those. If they're not on the website today, they'll be up this week. So thanks for checking that out, guys. Questions, comments below. How to carry a knife in a non-permissive environment. Again, rule number one, I'm going to end the video with rule number one, but rule number one is you don't want to look like you're looking for attention. You don't want to look like you are drawing attention to yourself like you might have a weapon. Funny little story. I was in Israel with a buddy of mine, Double Tapper, and you can it's ITS Double Tapper is his Instagram, but we were going and doing some religious sites one day, and I kind of just, depending on what I was doing, I would wear an El Sicario shirt, and I would not draw a lot of attention to myself. People would just think, oh, he's a tourist. Well, that particular day, I was going and seeing just Jesus religious sites. I don't remember if I had a knife on me or not. I only had a bone breaker. I didn't have a firearm or anything. Double Tapper doesn't go anywhere without a firearm, so he had, you know, his Glock and like 600 rounds of ammo and all this stuff. So I was like, yeah, you know, I really think I'll be safe with Double Tapper. I'm not going to worry about doing the whole gray man thing. I just wore a tank top and I'm chilling. And he was with me, and he's Jewish, traditional Jewish, and I'm Christian. I believe in Jesus. He believes that Jesus exists. Obviously, there's a difference, or existed. There's a difference there in our technical beliefs, but he was an awesome enough dude to him and Zahal.org, both of those awesome guys. Check out Zahal.org for some awesome tactical gear as well. I get all my mag holsters from those guys, Zahal.org. But I'm in line, and Zahal gets me in front of the line and meeting the people the Muslim family that actually runs the whole facility to get all the kind of, you know, see all the cool Jesus stuff where Jesus was. Amazing experience, absolutely unbelievable experience. Double Tapper was cool enough to go with me, even though the Jesus sites do not mean the same to him as they do to me. But funny thing is a police officer approached Double Tapper. I guess he knew who Double Tapper was, or at least he knew that he was a private security there. And he said, hey, look, man, you see that guy? I bet he has a knife on him. And he pointed me out. He didn't know at that time yet that we were together. Double Tapper was standing there watching me in line as I was going through, because he didn't want to go through Jesus' tomb or had already seen it or whatever. But funny thing, the difference between me wearing that El Sicario shirt, and the reason I tell you this is because if I was, it wouldn't have mattered if I had that knife on me or not. Because now I look with a bunch of tattoos, jacked, you know, tattoos of skulls and stuff, wearing a shirt with a skull, really big guy, bigger than everybody else in there. So just scary looking to the police, and the police goes, man, I bet that guy has a knife on him. When he comes out of here, we're going to go see if he has a knife on him. Double Tapper came and said, hey man, guess this guy just came up to me and picked you out of the crowd and said he bets that you have a knife on you. So just guys, just remember, with non-permissive environments, the number one thing is that gray man theory. And I wasn't worried about what other people thought about me then, because I was doing touristy stuff. And I also had guys with me that were super loaded out counter-terrorist guys, okay? And maybe I should have worn that shirt. I don't still regret being able to have that story to tell, but it's a prime example, guys. You need to look a certain way. If you're going to have a knife on you, you need to make yourself look like you don't. Now, I've got my gray man theory videos up here to teach you how to do that. I just told you the best option, and I told you how to carry a non-permissive environment knife or a knife into non-permissive environments. Thanks for watching. Questions, comments below. Go check out the Zahal channel and check out ITS Double Tapper. Tell those guys Bone Tactical sent you, and go tell them, hey, Bone Tactical told me the story about the cop at Jesus' tomb, and see what they say. Thanks for watching. Bone out.